The news broke, my actor boyfriend was engaged to a wealthy heiress. Late at night, I called him, and a woman answered. I'm Lawson's fiancée. What do you want with him? I'm his boyfriend. I want to break up with him. 1. Lawson's engagement news shot up the trending list, and my phone blew up. Without exception, everyone was asking if it was true. To the outside world, I was Lawson's best friend. But no one knew we'd been together for 8 years. My hand shook as I held the phone. Of course it's fake. I've never heard Lawson mention this woman. Still, I dialed his number. He claimed he'd been busy with shoots and appearances and hadn't been home for half a month. The call was answered by his assistant. Weston, Lawson is in an interview right now. What's up? Maybe I was overthinking, but the assistant sounded a little nervous. What's going on with the trending news? The assistant immediately explained. That's all just reporters making things up. Didn't you know? They tried to reassure me, promising that as soon as the shoot was over, Lawson would call me back immediately. On my rare day off, I sat on the sofa all day, listless. By 10 at night, there was still no news from Lawson. I called again. This time, a woman answered. Who is this? My chest felt like it was being roasted over a flame, the pain leaving me speechless. I asked back, who are you? I'm Lawson's fiancée. What do you want with him? Facing the answer I already suspected, I thought I'd lose it. But surprisingly, I felt a strange sense of relief. Finally, I had a reason to give up. Oh, sorry to bother you. I'm his boyfriend. The woman went quiet. I sneered. I want to break up with him. Could you pass that on? Thanks. Before hanging up, I even gave a piece of advice. You better think twice before falling for a scam like this. Otherwise, it could ruin your life. 2. I looked around the room. This was the little home Lawson and I had built together. Confusion outweighed sadness. Because I had a bad feeling. This time, maybe it really was the end. From the days he was unknown to now, when his career shone brightly, we had never moved. Lawson said this place held our memories and made him feel at home. But the very next day after he said that, he was cornered by fans at a nightclub. When I rushed to pick him up, he was in a private room with a newly debuted actor, caught in an intimate moment. The moment he saw me, he pushed the person away, claiming the actor had taken advantage of a distraction. The young actor said nothing, bowed apologetically, and ran off covering his face. Lawson tried to comfort me. This industry is messy. I have no choice. I collapsed to the floor, rejecting his hugs and touches. Lawson lost his patience. In front of his assistant and manager, he felt humiliated. Weston, stop this. My heart is only yours. Do you not believe me at all? You said you'd fully support my career. You can't even handle this little thing. How am I supposed to work in peace? That night, Lawson's PR team claimed he was at the club to celebrate a best friend's birthday. Photos of us arm in arm appeared on his Weibo for the first time. To make it more believable, the studio even released a photo of us playing in a college basketball game together. He's such a good brother, really loyal, still remembers his friend's birthday even when busy. Being with friends makes him a happy, big-hearted guy. That friendship is enviable. Fans cheered for our friendship. Strangers praised Lawson for being loyal and honorable. But that wasn't my birthday. I was just a pawn in his cover-up. To keep up the lie, every year he celebrated me on that fake birthday. So when my real birthday came this year, he forgot. Things like this had happened countless times over 8 years. But he knew me too well, my likes, my desires. Whenever I was with Lawson, he always found a way to make me feel okay again. Gradually, sadness became a habit, healed by fake sweetness. The phone rang again. I thought it was Lawson, but the caller ID said Psycho. 3. This guy was Nolan, a new intern at the firm. During a team dinner, after everyone had a bit to drink, Nolan cornered me in the bathroom. Weston, do you have a girlfriend? No. Then, do you have a boyfriend? I denied it outright, but he wouldn't let it go. Weston, I have a strong radar for people like us. You're lying. Nolan openly admitted his orientation, and I was momentarily speechless. He reached out his hand without any malice. Isn't it nice to have someone like you around? We should get along. I just assumed he was looking for someone similar and let it go. I didn't expect Nolan to latch onto me after that, following me around every day like a shadow. Now, overwhelmed and exhausted, I blocked his number. I packed my things that night and moved to a hotel near the law office. The next day, I showed up at work with dark circles under my eyes. Nolan was already waiting by my desk. He wore a crisp gray suit, looking like a model among a sea of lawyers. Weston, you look awful. Didn't sleep well? He leaned in, a faint scent of cologne brushing my nose. Did you fight with your boyfriend or something? I glared at him. Nolan smiled innocently and picked up the files on my desk. Go get some rest. I'll handle this. I wasn't in the mood, snatched the files back. Do your own work. My business isn't your concern. Nolan didn't budge. I can leave, but can you at least take me off your blacklist first? He didn't seem embarrassed at all about being blocked. I felt slightly awkward. Clicked the wrong button. When he saw I unblocked him, Nolan grinned again. You didn't have breakfast, right? I got you a sandwich and an Americano. No sauce. Looking at the breakfast bag, I couldn't bring myself to scold him. Don't do things like this again. Focus on work. For a moment, disappointment flashed in Nolan's eyes, then vanished so quickly I wondered if I'd imagined it. Suddenly, my phone rang. It was Lawson. 24 hours after his engagement news hit the trending list, he finally remembered I existed. 4. I walked into a phone booth with my phone in hand. Lawson's voice was low and hoarse, tinged with panic. Weston, where are you? I spoke calmly. At work. He paused, clearly not expecting me to sound so composed. What time do you finish? I'll come pick you up. We don't need to contact each other anymore. Weston, listen to me, it's not what you think. Classic. After all these years acting, he still hadn't memorized any original lines, can't even improvise a decent opener. Are you saying you were forced to get engaged to her? Lawson choked on his words. Weston, trust me. I won't marry her. It's just an engagement. Really? Lawson, you don't plan to get engaged to someone else while keeping me as your boyfriend, do you? What do you take me for? His response was weak, only pleading with me not to be angry. I promise, no matter what happens, I only love you. Doesn't matter anymore. Who you get engaged to is your business. We're broken up. Lawson's voice shot up an octave. Don't say things in anger. When did we break up? I realized. Last night, I asked your fiancée to tell you I wanted to break up. She didn't. Silence on the other end. Lawson almost roared. How did you reach her? What did you say to her? Do you even know who she is? His tone sent a chill down my spine. Clearly, he cared about that fiancée. I called you last night. She answered. Of course I know her, heiress of Jesuan Entertainment and your fiancée. I told her I was your boyfriend and wanted to break up with you. Lawson shouted my name, furious. Weston, stop wasting my time. Go comfort her. Scam engagement jerk. I hope karma catches up with you. Bye. 5. The moment Lawson admitted he was engaged to someone else, I felt blind. Who hasn't loved a fool in their youth? I had no patience to listen to his meltdown and hung up decisively. Slumped at my desk, memories of 8 years with Lawson flashed through my mind. We met in college, both on the basketball team, shared hobbies, liked the same movie star. We ate together, attended classes together, played basketball together, closer than roommates. During one team dinner, everyone was drunk. On the way back to the dorm, Lawson suddenly held my hand and whispered something only I could hear. Weston, I think I like you. Not as a friend. Who in our families would understand? My crush just confessed to me. Lawson was the campus heartthrob, star player of the basketball team, adored by countless people. And yet he liked ordinary me. I didn't hesitate, wrapped my arms around him. Teammates teased, how many girls will cry seeing you two together? Fueled by alcohol, I yelled, fine, we're together. By the next day, everyone had forgotten, but we were actually together. In junior year, Lawson was scouted on the street and started his acting career. At first, he was just an extra with small, forgettable roles, but a 4-second clip got edited into viral videos overnight. We had many happy times, but those seemed to exist only before he became famous. Later, I became a lawyer, and he a hot actor. He said we'd work together for our happiness. But slowly, he started kissing young actors. He started coming home late, and step by step, it seemed like I was the only one still working for us. I wasn't even sure if I still loved him, or if I'd just gotten used to him being part of my life. With or without him, life went on. After work that afternoon, I had an appointment with a realtor. Over the years, I'd saved enough money. Lawson didn't want to move, so I hadn't bought my own place. Now my goal was clear: buy a house, renovate it, rent somewhere temporary in the meantime. As soon as I entered the elevator, Nolan stuck to me like glue. Weston, I found a new hot pot place. You said you liked hot pot last time, want to go? I grabbed my bag and rushed out, ignoring his hopeful look. Can't tonight. I have plans. Nolan didn't give up. Tomorrow? Maybe not tomorrow either. He followed me all the way to the office entrance. I finally snapped, turning to him seriously. Nolan, when people say they're busy, it usually means they're politely declining. He didn't get discouraged and even smiled brightly. I know, but you have to try a few times. What if one day you soften and say yes? Looking into his honest, bright eyes, my heart skipped a beat. This kid knew how to use his appearance to his advantage. I pushed the thought aside. Nolan, you're young. Go date girls. Don't waste time just eating and drinking. He tilted his head, staring at me. Yeah, I want to date. Isn't that what you're already doing? 6. I didn't expect Nolan to like me. I didn't expect him to say it so easily. Seeing me stunned, Nolan blinked innocently. Surprised? From the first day you joined, my eyes never left you, Weston. You don't feel anything, do you? Honestly, being confessed to by a young, attractive guy is pleasant in body and mind. But I no longer had the courage or energy to start a new relationship. I expressed my thoughts honestly. To be frank, I just ended a failed relationship. For a long time, I'm not planning to be intimate with anyone else. Lawson had drained my hope for love. I had forgotten what it felt like to be in love. Nolan raised his hand, and I instinctively flinched, but he only brushed a leaf off my shoulder. I understand, but it's okay, Weston. I can wait for you. A small smile tugged at me. So, you're single right now, right? It was autumn. Leaves yellowed in the evening sun. Nolan's gaze was so focused that I thought about hiding. Before I could figure out how to refuse him clearly, I was suddenly yanked aside. Lawson was there, wearing a mask and a baseball cap, his angry eyes the only thing visible. I need to talk to you. Nolan stepped forward, but I raised my hand to stop him. I knew Lawson wouldn't give up easily. Perfect timing. There were things I hadn't finished yelling at him about. Lawson dragged me into his business car and sent the assistant and driver away. He threw off his mask in frustration. You're breaking up with me because of that pretty little intern, aren't you? 7. I was too angry to speak. Lawson, how did I not realize before, your talent for twisting the truth is so strong. He couldn't hide his anger. Otherwise, we were fine. Why would you suddenly want to break up? I had no idea how he could even say, we were fine, with a straight face. I scoffed. Fine. The last time we saw each other was half a month ago. If you hadn't said anything, I would have thought I'd been single for ages. Lawson looked surprised. Isn't that normal? I'm an actor. I need to shoot, go to appearances. We've always been like this, haven't we? No replies on WeChat. No video calls. My waiting and patience had long been taken for granted in Lawson's eyes. I'd lost all desire to communicate. He just seemed unreasonable. Lawson, you're the one who betrayed me. That's why I can't tolerate it anymore. I didn't. Lawson nearly roared. I told you, I'm only engaged. I won't marry her. To prove his point, he shoved his contract with the company in front of me. She's just a business partner. At most, it's a professional engagement. The company asked me to do this. What choice did I have? When I get the resources I need, I won't have any relationship with her. Why can't you trust me? Do you know how much trouble you caused me? If Sophia finds out about our relationship and wants the engagement annulled, do you realize the impact on me? He even sounded wronged. Looking at the contract, I only felt amused. Do you think getting engaged to someone else is just part of your work, so I don't need to know, and you don't need my permission? Lawson froze, slightly guilty, his tone softening. I intended to tell you in person, but the media exposed it early. It was just an accident. I threw the contract back at him. You let your partner take your calls, claiming to be your fiancé, while I can't even celebrate my real birthday like a normal person. Lawson, why should I tolerate this? Why should I silently endure? Why should I accept my lover getting engaged to someone else? Apparently, my calm tone unsettled him. He tried to hug me, but I pushed him away. Whether you get engaged or married is none of my business. I just want to break up. My stance won't change, no matter if you accept it or not. I prepared to get out of the car. Lawson grabbed me with such force that my forearm tingled. Weston, don't regret it. If you leave me now, you won't even have a place to stay. A sharp pain pressed against my chest. I thought I'd grown numb, but Lawson always found a way to hurt me deeper. Relax. I've already moved out. Lawson's eyes widened, stunned. You don't think I rely on you for money, do you? He was used to being on top, everyone on his team depended on him. But I wasn't his employee. I had my own career. 6 years in the industry, I was a moderately well-known lawyer. I had won hundreds of cases. This time, I opened the car door. He didn't stop me. His manager quickly stepped forward to calm me. Weston, both of you need to calm down. Lawson made mistakes, but this was also a decision from higher-ups. You can't blame him entirely. Lawson had no family backing. Over the years, he relied entirely on the company, so he had to give back, generate benefits. But that didn't mean I had to be a puppet under his control. I straightened my clothes, keeping my composure. I knew the manager feared I might retaliate against Lawson. Don't worry, I won't talk to the media. I can't afford to lose face. I just wanted to sever all ties with Lawson quickly. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. Photos of Lawson and me holding hands in college went viral. 8. Hashtag Lawson boyfriend hashtag. Hashtag Lawson gay pretending straight for engagement hashtag. Although the source blurred my face, eagle-eyed netizens identified me through my clothing and build. After all, as Lawson's friend, I appeared on his Weibo every year. Who holds hands with their best friend like this? Lawson is gay? Some didn't believe it, saying one photo doesn't prove anything. But soon, the source uploaded more photos, candid shots of me and Lawson returning to his apartment at night, living together confirmed. Judging by the clothes, this was in May. Fans can't deny it now. Overnight, Lawson lost 300,000 followers. Many fans turned against him. Disgusting. Posting your boyfriend's photos on Weibo like this? Are we all fools? Even a wealthy heiress can't escape being scammed by a gay player like this. Lawson's company scrambled to do PR, but the heat was too high. The posts couldn't be contained. Once again, I was caught in the storm of messages and notifications. This time, even our law firm's boss called me. Netizens had dug up my identity, my profession, and my workplace. A lawyer's reputation is vital. My boss politely suggested I take some time off at home. The firm had already received harassment calls from obsessive fans and trolls, as well as complaints from clients demanding a different lawyer. Some people even waited in front of the office building, wanting to see me. I felt my blood freeze. I kept apologizing to my superiors for the negative attention I'd brought to the firm. Reality was harsh. I had lost not only my love but also suffered a career setback. Being fired seemed inevitable. No one wanted a lawyer with a scandal defending them. Just as I was despairing, Lawson's manager messaged me, asking me to go to the company to discuss a response strategy. When I entered the conference room, Lawson immediately pinned me against the wall without saying a word. "Weston, was this you? You did this to get back at me, sending the photos to the reporters?" 9. I punched Lawson in the face. His assistant and manager rushed to pull us apart. His eyes were bloodshot, like a beast fallen from a great height, attacking anything near him indiscriminately. "Do you think I'm stupid? How does this situation benefit me? I'm about to lose my job." Lawson froze, seemingly shocked by my words. He probably never considered what I'd be going through. As expected, he only cared about himself. To prevent another confrontation, the manager seated us at opposite ends of the table. He confirmed a few things with me. "Does anyone know about your relationship with Lawson?" "No, I haven't told anyone." Lawson kept staring, but I avoided his gaze. "I've made my position clear. This situation has severely affected my work and life. Please respond quickly to clarify, so his trolls stop harassing me." The manager sipped water, as if choosing his words carefully. "We can't determine the source's intent yet, nor have we contacted them. We can't clarify publicly for now." My chest tightened. "What do you mean you can't clarify?" "Denying, distancing, it's what you're best at." Lawson looked a little guilty, fidgeting. "They might have other photos. We're at a disadvantage." The manager laid out a confidentiality agreement. If I followed it, I'd receive a 1 million yuan compensation. My face burned. "Before taking action, we need you to stay silent. No interviews, no online responses. You should understand, this situation damages Lawson more." So, I couldn't speak for myself. I had to endure online harassment, even though I was an innocent victim. His loss is greater. Because I'm an ordinary person, my life being turned upside down doesn't matter. I stared at Lawson, hoping for a trace of guilt. But once again, there was none. After 8 years together, Lawson didn't even trust me at a basic level. He actually worried I would betray him to the media. I tore up the agreement and threw it in the air. "Sorry, I won't accept this. Lawson and I have broken up. If anyone interferes with my life, I'll take proper measures to protect myself." Lawson suddenly stood and walked toward me. Just then, a knock came at the door. The assistant opened it to reveal a woman in a black dress and jacket over her shoulder. She removed her sunglasses, scrutinized me, and smiled brightly. "Hello, ex-boyfriend of my fiancée." She was Sophia, Lawson's fiancée, the heiress of Jet Entertainment. Lawson visibly deflated, looking flustered and pleading. "What are you doing here?" Sophia didn't hesitate. She pulled out a chair and sat down. "This whole scandal has made me look like the victim of a gay scam marriage. Don't I deserve some compensation?" 10. I had no patience to watch Lawson sweet-talk Sophia. "If there's nothing else, I'll be leaving." I rushed downstairs, planning to grab a cab, but just as I reached the entrance, a group of young photographers with cameras swarmed me. "You're Lawson's rumored boyfriend, right, Weston? Have you and Lawson been together since college? Shameless gay, you should be in a hospital." Cameras were shoved in my face. Hands reached to grab me. I froze, until a strong hand pulled me out. Instinctively, I followed. Nolan cleared a path, and at the right moment, grabbed me and ran. Once in the car, he slammed the accelerator out of the parking lot. What are you doing here? Nolan shrugged. I couldn't reach you, didn't know where to find you. Someone online said they saw you outside Lawson's company. I figured I'd take my chances. It was terrifying, my every move had already become transparent. We drove in silence for a while. Nolan broke the quiet first. Where you're staying might not be safe. If you don't mind, stay at my place. I live alone. I was about to refuse, but Nolan interrupted my thought. A hotel isn't wise. Staff might not keep your identity completely private. He turned to me, eyes earnest. But I can. For a moment, I forgot to refuse. There was no contempt, no ridicule, only his usual sincere smile. Thanks. I ended up following my admirer, 5 years younger than me, back to his place. Before I realized it, he was pushing me into the bathroom. You don't look handsome right now. Take a shower. There's a disposable razor inside. By the time I snapped back, I was standing under the shower head. What was I doing? I was showering at my pursuer's house. 11. When I stepped out of the bathroom, Nolan had already gone out. I breathed a sigh of relief. The change of clothes was left by the door, clearly Nolan's. He was half a head taller than me, and the sizes were bigger. Everything I had gone through felt unreal. Nolan said he lived alone, but the apartment was almost the same size as the one I used to share with Lawson. A recent graduate living in such a high-end apartment in this area, he must come from a well-off family. I had never tried to learn about Nolan. I vaguely remembered a colleague mentioning that he seemed to have parachuted into the law firm, without even going through the interview process. I checked my phone for missed calls from my mom. My parents lived in our hometown and had always been proud of having an outstanding son. I had never told them about my sexuality, and now it was public in this way. The netizens' abuse was unbearable. If they saw it, I couldn't imagine how disappointed and heartbroken they'd be. Holding my breath, I called my mom. Mom, you little brat, why haven't you answered your phone? You even turned it off. Your father and I were worried sick. My nose tingled, and I didn't know how to start. Mom, have you seen what's happening online? My mom was silent for a moment, then, unexpectedly gentle. Yes, we saw it, which is why we were trying to reach you. Are you okay? Tears streamed uncontrollably, blurring my vision. There was none of the criticism I had feared. She only cared if I was safe. This big of a situation, and you didn't send us a single message. Are you really together with your celebrity friend? She seemed to worry I'd feel embarrassed, and quickly added, Mom doesn't oppose you too, but with all this chaos, we just want a clear answer, so we can respond if anyone asks. I forced back my sobs, opened my mouth without making a sound, and squeezed the tears from my eyes. My parents rarely follow entertainment news and don't browse Weibo. Someone must have deliberately told them, seeking confirmation. I could imagine the gossiping faces of those people. My parents, living quiet lives for decades, suddenly became the subjects of judgment because of their son's sexuality. I felt guilty, but she didn't give me a chance to apologize. Not a single angry word. I was with him, but it's over now. There will be no more contact. Mom, sorry. She sighed, and then seemed relieved. My ears rang from a lack of oxygen. What do you mean, sorry? As long as you're okay. People online love to talk nonsense. Listen carefully and don't read too much. Are you busy these days? If not, your father and I could come see you. I hurriedly said, no need. Busy, work's busy. I'll come home later. After hanging up, I leaned against the wall, crying uncontrollably. Now I had no fixed residence. If my parents came, I wouldn't even know where they could stay. At this moment, I truly realized how absurdly wrong I had been. I should have ended things with Lawson long ago. My phone rang again. A strange number. My gut said not to answer. The caller persistently sent a message. I'm Sophia, Lawson's fiancée. What could she want with me? The phone rang again, and this time I answered. Can we meet? I texted Nolan and went to the cafe where Sophia had arranged to meet. Sophia got straight to the point. I want to discuss a collaboration. After all, we're both victims here. What kind of collaboration? Sophia smiled. I want Lawson's reputation ruined. Are you interested in joining me? 12. To be honest, the photos were sent by me. My mind went blank for a second. Anger flared. What is your goal? According to Lawson, his relationship with Sophia was a contract marriage, for publicity or some kind of benefit. But Sophia said she had been played. He started pursuing me 6 months ago. I didn't like him, but with his achievements and commercial value, he was someone I could marry. I knew he had his goals, but I didn't mind giving him roles and resources. The lead in his latest movie, I got that for him. Until I talked to you, I didn't realize I'd been deceived by a gay man. Sophia spoke casually, her red lips smiling, no sign of upset or disappointment. My relationship with him was mutually beneficial, but he clearly treated me like a fool, trying to take advantage. I was stunned into silence. Lawson, when did he become this kind of person? 6 months ago. I hadn't known anything about my lover's betrayals. I didn't mean to hurt you. Blame him. If he had the courage to clarify in time, or take responsibility like a man, the fire wouldn't have reached you. Sophia even comforted me. I know he deceived you too. Think of it as recognizing someone's true colors and cutting losses in time. After processing her words, I regained my voice. What do you want me to do? Sophia smiled slightly. Don't forgive him. I froze. Her manicured fingers tapped the table. He cares about you, he just forgot. Actors like him, chosen by popularity without roots, easily forget who they are. They think they're omnipotent, think they can control everything. I want him to have nothing, to hit rock bottom, and realize there's no one left around him. Seeing my silence, Sophia frowned slightly. You're not feeling sorry for him, are you? I shook my head firmly. Even if you hadn't come to me, I wouldn't forgive him. His matters no longer concern me. I don't want to know, and I won't care. 13. I knocked on Nolan's door. He opened it wearing an apron. Several bulging shopping bags were at the door, filled with clothes. I bought a few changes of clothes for you. Seeing me freeze, he spoke on his own. Where have you been? Try to stay in more these days. Lunch will be ready soon. I stared at the 2 bags in disbelief. How did he know my size? Was it that obvious? On the table were 4 dishes and a soup. I had no appetite, but Nolan cheerfully encouraged me to try his cooking. Steamed fish is my specialty. Just try a bit. You're the first person I've ever cooked for. Nolan was like a little son, always energetic, bright, impossible to ignore. I forced a small smile and picked up my chopsticks. It's really good. Not flattery, his cooking was surprisingly good. Nolan proudly raised his chin. Of course, I can cook lots of things. You'll try more over time. He didn't mention Lawson at all. Though younger, being around Nolan was comfortable. He could always lift the atmosphere, and he was considerate of others' feelings. I set down my chopsticks, gathering the courage to speak. Nolan, thank you. I really don't know how to repay you. Nolan clicked his tongue, his smile fading. Weston, didn't anyone ever tell you not to talk gloomily at the table? You should use me to get over my heartbreak, even play with me a bit. I'd willingly offer myself. I cleared my throat awkwardly. You're amazing, talented, and since I have so many merits, why not try being with me? He ladled some soup for me, and the table fell silent. Just as I prepared to apologize, Nolan suddenly stood and lifted his shirt slightly. Actually, there are still many talents of mine I can't show you yet. 14. I nearly spat out the soup I was eating. What exactly is going through your mind? I awkwardly grabbed a tissue to wipe my mouth, unsure where to look, feeling embarrassed. Nolan feigned innocence. I said I have a great figure. What were you thinking? Seeing me flustered, Nolan chuckled. Weston, you're so innocent. Stop joking around. I couldn't believe a boy 5 years younger than me was teasing me like this. After Nolan's playful teasing, I finally began to relax. He turned on the TV, patted the carpet beside him, and gestured for me to sit down. That's when I realized something was off. You're not going to work today? I asked. Nolan leaned back confidently. Why would I? You're not around. Why should I go? What kind of logic was that? Skipping work affects probation evaluations. Nolan leaned lazily on the edge of the sofa, like a cat. Weston, are you worried I won't stay, or are you afraid you won't see me? I filtered out the undertone in his words. You have a deep understanding of the law, a rare talent. Our firm is very supportive of junior lawyers. The environment is relaxed and good for your growth. Nolan's eyes lit up. Really, Weston, you think I've done well? You always act indifferent toward me. I thought you doubted my abilities. People doubted you? Nolan shrugged casually. Don't you know I have connections? I didn't go through interviews. My dad is friends with the boss. He put on a comedy movie. At first, I thought I wouldn't enjoy it, but by the time it ended, I was completely absorbed. When I turned my head, Nolan was staring directly at me. The distance between us was no more than half an arm's length, close enough to see each individual lash on his eyes. Nolan was naturally striking. Many female lawyers at the firm were clearly infatuated with him. Compared to him, I was an ordinary man, unremarkable. Curiosity got the better of me. Nolan, what do you like about me? Weston, do you know? You have this aura that makes people want to be close to you. What kind of description was that? Nolan took my hand on the carpet. I instinctively tried to pull away, but he leaned over me. You don't realize how much attention you draw. From the moment I first saw you, I couldn't take my eyes off you. Maybe you don't remember me, but I've been trying to get closer to you all this time. The long mist flutter returned. I held my breath, letting him close the distance. Just as his lips were about to meet mine, my phone rang, snapping me back to reality. I quickly pulled my hand away. Nolan frowned at the phone. The display read, "Old man, probably his dad." "Ruined the mood," he muttered. I hurriedly escaped to the guest room. I hid at Nolan's apartment for a few days. During the day, he went to work, but returned for lunch and dinner. I told him not to waste his lunch break, but he said, "Seeing you recharges me instantly." A straightforward, earnest guy, hard to resist. I deliberately avoided checking the chaotic online messages. Looking would only worsen my stress, and there was nothing I could do anyway. Yet, instead of getting a notice from the firm to return to work, I received an urgent call from my mom. "Weston, someone threw paint on our front door, and there's a threatening letter. Should we call the police?" 15. I immediately reported it. I booked the next flight home. Nolan insisted on coming with me. At the airport, he carefully scanned the surroundings like a diligent bodyguard. In just a few days, Nolan had become the only person I could truly rely on in a crisis. I felt grateful but didn't even know how to express it because of my anger and helplessness. After landing, I called my parents first, then went to the station to give a statement. The vandals had been caught, some high school students. We refused any settlement, and they were detained by the police. The officer kindly advised, "You should use social media to announce that you reported this, to deter anyone else thinking of harassing you." To protect my parents, I opened Weibo, which I hadn't checked in days. It took over a minute to load, and my inbox was already flooded with messages. I posted the report and photos of the vandalized door, sternly warning overzealous fans. "I'm just an ordinary person. I only want to live a normal life. I've done nothing wrong. Please do not harm my family. A report has been filed. Let the violent troublemakers beware." After posting, the comments immediately skyrocketed. Many were bystanders, watching for entertainment. Some anti-LGBT voices criticized mindlessly, but many rational people defended me. Harassing someone's family, is that normal? Ignorant much? Poor guy. He did nothing wrong. Lawson tricked him, he's a victim too. Agreed, he's not in showbiz. He may have been deceived by a scumbag. Lawson's fans went silent, afraid of backlash, and didn't appear in the comments section. On the way home, Nolan reminded me to check my phone. Lawson's studio finally issued a legal notice, suing the initial account for infringement. Lawson posted a long statement on his personal account. He denied our relationship, describing our story as close friends. He spoke sincerely about how I helped him through his financial struggles, portraying me as an important friend rather than a romantic partner. Everything was true, just my role had been replaced. Sophia shared the post with a comment. "Clear minds stay clear. Part amicably. Cut losses in time. Wishing a bright future." At the top of the comments, she posted a photo of Lawson posing intimately with another female celebrity. 16. Nolan exclaimed, "No way. She's officially announcing the split with Lawson, and can't resist throwing shade at him." I didn't fully understand Sophia's intentions, but I knew the photo was real. That incident had even led to an argument between Lawson and me back then. Sophia was so calculated that she could assess the value of her own marriage. This was how people in their circle survived. No matter what, Lawson was in my past. I had no reason to care about my ex's future. Regardless of how questionable Lawson's statement was, whether people believed it or not, public attention had shifted to questioning his character. I quietly stepped out of the public eye. Before we got home, Lawson called. I had no intention of answering, and when I ignored it, he persistently called again. "Weston, let's meet. I know I was wrong. Let's talk." My fingers hovered over the chat box for 2 seconds before I deleted Lawson from my contacts and blocked him and his entire team. After that, I finally exhaled. I told my parents that Nolan was my colleague and that, due to the recent upheaval, I had been staying at his place. They were very grateful and warmly invited him to stay at our home. "It's inconvenient at my place. I'll go with him to a hotel," Nolan said, his face reflecting surprise and a bright look toward me. Passing a convenience store, I paused. "Want a drink?" Nolan gestured politely toward the store. His black trench coat made him look quite gentlemanly. We bought a bottle of foreign liquor, cigarettes, and a lighter, and drank in the hotel room. Half a bottle in, Nolan began to ask about my past. "Weston, how long were you two together?" I took a drag of my cigarette, nonchalantly. 8 years. Strangely, those 8 years now felt like distant history. I felt nothing. Nolan swirled his glass, the ice clinking against it, a sharp rhythm against my nerves. "How long do you think it will take to forget him?" I turned my face. Nolan rested his chin on his hand, eyes narrowed, smiling like a fox. I don't know. The hardest person to forget is always the one you loved when you were young and foolish. He took the half-burned cigarette from my hand and held it in his mouth. They say replacing a file is cleaner than deleting it. Want to try? I slumped in the chair, drunkenly staring at him. The air conditioner hummed. Nolan removed his trench coat, revealing a turtleneck sweater. The clothes he had bought for me were all the same style as his. Like now, one black, one white. Like couple outfits. When he pulled me into the inner room, I didn't resist. In a haze, I vaguely felt him brush my face. Weston, I've finally reached your side. The next morning, I woke up in a daze. Almost 30, and still capable of reckless drunken behavior. Nolan's peaceful sleeping face spared us the awkwardness of waking up together in the same bed. I tried to sneak out of bed, but he wrapped his arm around my waist, pulling me back. Weston, don't tell me you're trying to sneak away. My face heated. I'm going to shower. He pressed closer. I'm coming with you. 17. After staying at my hometown for a week, I received a call from the law firm boss. Weston, have you settled down? If I don't call you, are you just going to keep resting at home? I had been prepared to resign, thinking I had caused enough trouble for the firm. To my surprise, the boss agreed to let me stay. I shared the good news with Nolan. He was even happier than I was. My parents looked relieved too. Before leaving, they stuffed my hands with homemade cured meat and prepared a portion for Nolan to take home for his family. At the airport, my mom whispered, I like Nolan. He seems like a good person, though he is a bit young. I was stunned by her acceptance. Mom, we're not that kind of relationship, I said, feeling uneasy. Ah, she was surprised. I just saw how attentive he is to your situation. I thought you two might be involved. These days, Nolan had stayed with us, helped my mom cook, and accompanied her shopping. He had practically integrated into our family. No wonder my mom thought that way. That night, back in the city, my rented apartment still wasn't ready, so I had no choice but to stay at Nolan's again. Young and energetic, Nolan could endure anything. I, however, felt conflicted and just wanted to avoid everything. No way, we have to report to the firm first thing tomorrow morning. Sleep now, Nolan laughed. I kicked his leg. He cheerfully poured me a glass of water. After turning off the lights, he insisted on holding me as we slept. His place was close to the firm, and the next morning, we walked there together. From a distance, I saw Lawson's car. He noticed me, rolled down his window, and stared at Nolan's hand on my shoulder. Lawson actually followed us into the office building and stopped me in the elevator lobby. Weston, where have you been these days? Why haven't you answered your phone? With others around, I tensed, unsure what he might do. None of your business. If you don't want to lose face further, leave now. Nolan recognized him immediately and instinctively shielded me. This only provoked Lawson further. Lawson removed his mask, stubble on his face, dark circles under his eyes, looking completely worn out. I was startled. You're out of your mind. I've gone crazy. I couldn't find you anywhere. You even stopped coming to the office to avoid me. To avoid a scene, I led him toward the service corridor. Nolan gave me space and didn't follow. Once the door closed, Lawson disregarded everything and grabbed me. I lost my roles, lost contracts with sponsors, my public image has plummeted. The company invested too much in me. Now they don't want to support me further, but they also won't let me go. They're just waiting for me to propose a solution so they can claim huge compensation. Weston, I really know I was wrong. Please, forgive me, will you? 18. I pushed him away forcefully. Lawson's gaze landed on the loosened collar of my shirt. His expression changed instantly. Weston, are you seeing someone else? That kid just now, have you been with him all this time? I adjusted my buttons. We're over. Being with someone is my choice. And he's not a kid, his name's Nolan. Lawson looked at me in disbelief, pain filling his eyes. It seemed he was only just realizing that I had truly drawn the line, not just angry after an argument. Weston, we were together for 8 years. You can't leave me no room at all. I interrupted. It's because I left you too much room that you forgot how to behave. You used work and social pretexts to act flirtatiously with actors and celebrities. I endured it repeatedly, and now those so-called rules of your circle have turned against you. I didn't avoid the office to hide from you. Because of you, I suffered online harassment, the firm was targeted, and I was forced to take leave. Lawson's lips trembled. His face was pale. You chase after fame and benefit. I only wanted a calm, stable life. We've long been on different paths. He shook his head. No, I don't want to lose you too. Weston, I can't be without you. It was clear his mental state was fragile. Lawson, I'm not your accessory. With that, I felt completely let go. Some lingering attachment and stubbornness remained, but that was just because I hadn't voiced all his wrongdoings. I turned and left. Fortunately, Lawson didn't follow. After getting in touch with his agent, I asked him to come quickly so nothing unexpected would happen. Nolan was still waiting by the elevator. He rushed over to check that I wasn't hurt. Seeing his unguarded concern, I felt the walls around my heart loosen. Inside the elevator, it was just the two of us. I quickly took Nolan's hand. He looked surprised, but the moment I touched his fingers, he immediately clasped mine firmly. Weston, you. Later, after work. Before the elevator doors opened, I let go and walked into the boss's office, pretending nothing had happened. I had considered speaking up for Nolan, since an intern missing so many days was unprecedented, but the boss didn't say a single critical word to him. I couldn't help but be curious. What's your background, really? Nolan chuckled. Didn't I tell you? I'm well connected. 19. I deliberately avoided entertainment news online. When I finally checked Weibo, I found that Lawson had become synonymous with jerk. Accusations of a fake marriage, alleged promiscuity, messy private life. His name even turned into an adjective. Don't be too Lawson. Feels like your partner's a bit Lawson. It was surreal. The official trailer for his new movie had already replaced him. All previous promotional material was deleted. Sophia had done exactly as she said. Lawson went from a celebrated actor to a public villain. In just half a month, everything had changed. I could only shake my head in disbelief. After work, I followed Nolan to the hot pot restaurant he mentioned before. It was packed. I took a queue number, but Nolan led me straight to a private room on the second floor. Isn't this place not open to reservations? I asked. He handed me the menu. I'm well connected. This time, I wasn't going to let him get away with that. Under my gaze, Nolan finally confessed. Weston, you don't resent the rich, right? I laughed. Depends on how rich we're talking about. Even prepared as I was, Nolan's next words shocked me. What if this hot pot restaurant belonged to my family? I guessed as much. And if I said the law firm is also run by my family? 20. Nolan's father was a well-known lawyer and a partner in the firm. However, he spent most of his time abroad managing foreign offices, only showing up for the annual firm meeting. Unintentionally, I got involved with the son of the family. On the way back from dinner, Nolan tentatively held my hand. I subtly pulled away. He couldn't hide his disappointment and silently walked beside me. Once we returned to his house, I finally spoke. I could return to the firm and continue working because you helped behind the scenes, didn't you? Nolan didn't deny it. He kept his head down, like a child who had done something wrong. I didn't know how to express my emotions. He had helped me but said nothing, clearly afraid I would find out. I plan to look for an apartment tomorrow, I said. Nolan panicked and, without a word, hugged me. Weston, is that what you were going to tell me? He held me tightly around the waist. I never dared tell you my family background because I was afraid it would make you reject me. Weston, you can't let my background negate my feelings for you. I pulled his hands away. I'm 5 years older than you. If your parents question why I used work as a pretext to take advantage of their son, how do I explain? You won't have to, Nolan said firmly, as if he had already thought of everything. It's fine. My dad already knows. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have chosen law as my career. I was stunned. Nolan pulled out a photo from his phone. It was from my first year at the firm, when we visited a foreign office for training. During the graduation ceremony, everyone took a group photo. In the picture, I was making a peace sign, looking ridiculous. You probably don't remember, but this was our first photo together, Nolan said, pointing to a high school student in uniform in the corner, pure, innocent, upright. We stood on opposite sides of the group. I looked at the camera. He looked at me. 21. My dad forced me to attend that training. Originally, I didn't plan to study law. He was furious and dragged me there to experience it. But then I met you. Watching you analyze cases, so focused and professional, your excellence made me realize law isn't just rigid rules. How lawyers interpret and apply it is the key. I never imagined one person could have such an impact on me. I thought Nolan's interest was just a fleeting youthful crush, but he had quietly liked me all these years. So, your internship at the firm was for me? Nolan's deep gaze held me completely, full of tenderness and focus. Of course, Weston. You are my goal in life. I want to become you and be with you. He cupped my face and kissed me softly. My face flushed, heart racing. Long-forgotten emotions returned, making me feel like a lovesick teenager again. Nolan pushed me gently, and we fell onto the plush carpet in the living room. Weston, how about moving in properly? I'll take care of you. Are you really going to leave? I blocked his playful hands. You smell greasy, don't mess around. Then shower first. You go. Together,